Hey everyone, Aqua Alex here. You're tuned into my YouTube channel, Alex's Aquariums. I hope you fish keepers are doing great and are ready for an exciting video today. First, I'd like to suggest that you subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed already. I've got some exciting videos coming out. Make sure you hit that like button and leave a comment if you have something you want to say about today's video. Today I present to you a brand new series here on my YouTube channel called All About. All About is going to be a series where I talk about different species of tropical fish. It could be a freshwater fish or a saltwater fish. You'll learn about everything you need to know about this particular species of fish. Today we're going to start with one of my personal favorite saltwater fish, and that is the Volitan Lionfish. When I first saw the Volitan Lionfish at the local fish store years ago as a kid, I knew I always wanted one. Years later, I finally have a healthy one that I am raising and keeping. So today, I'm going to tell you all about the Volitan Lionfish and how you too can have one in your saltwater aquarium. The lionfish you're looking at is in fact my personal lionfish in one of my aquariums. He's a good solid 4 to 4.5 inches, as you can see, and he has a really big belly right now. Why? Well, because he just ate dinner. I just finished feeding him some raw market shrimp. And yes, that's right, folks. You can get your lionfish to eat non-live foods. I'll tell you how to do that in today's video. But let's go over some of the basics about the Volitan Lionfish. They get big. They grow up to 13 or 14 inches in length. So the Volitan Lionfish is going to need a really big tank. So you're looking at least 120 gallons to 180 gallons, and even bigger for a Volitan Lionfish. They need a big saltwater aquarium. You should provide them with lots of hiding spaces, because Volitan Lionfish like to hide. So it is a very good idea to provide them with as many hiding spots as you can. You can do this in the form of live rock, or you could use artificial plants like you see here in today's video. They really like to hide, so make sure you provide them with lots of hiding spots. Other than a big tank and knowing how big they get, you should know that they are venomous. They have venomous dorsal spines. And if you get stung by one of these, they say it's like a bumblebee sting, but worse. Worse than a bumblebee sting. So if you get stung, you should submerge your hand in really hot water, as hot as you can handle. So be careful when putting your hand in a lionfish tank. Keep their salinity at 1.020 to 1.028. They're a very hardy fish. Are they reef safe? I would say with caution. Because they are a large growing species, they will eat any smaller fish they see fit. Any smaller fish that will fit in their mouth, they will eat. So keep these with larger growing fish. They will eat shrimp and other crustaceans as well. So you will need a very large tank to keep them, and very large tank mates as well. Tank mates for the lionfish can be puffers. I have a dog-faced puffer, a southern stripes puffer, and a spiny box puffer with mine. You can do certain types of triggers, but be careful. I would go with the reef-shaped triggers like the blue jaw and the Niger trigger. Eels work well with lionfish. Other species of large growing lionfish will work well with the Volitan Lionfish. And you could do smaller growing groupers, porkfish. Those are just some examples of tank mates you can have with the Volitan Lionfish. Now the hardest part of keeping a Volitan Lionfish is feeding. Sometimes when you first get them, they can be really, really picky about what they want to eat. So for the first couple of days, you might have to feed them live foods like live ghost shrimp or live feeder fish such as guppies. That's what I had to do my first few days. But he settled in really quickly and started learning to eat raw market shrimp after I offered it to him for a couple of times. So my advice when getting Volitan Lionfish is do not stop offering raw market shrimp and tilapia. Eventually they will accept it. So getting them to eat is pretty simple after the first few times that you give them live. Just stop feeding live after the first few times and offer market shrimp, tilapia, prawns, and other fresh seafood. So the lionfish is a very hardy fish. You should not have a problem keeping them at all. Just remember, they get really big, so they need a big tank mates, and they eat a lot, so they produce a lot of waste. So you need to be up on your water changes. Do a lot of water changes. So if you have any questions or comments on the Volitan Lionfish, post them below, and I'll gladly answer them in the comment section. Thank you for watching today's video on All About. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next All About video.
An historic shift from the leader of an ancient institution. Pope Francis becoming the first pope in the Catholic Church's 2,000-year history to endorse civil unions for gay couples. This is a man who follows humanity. In the new documentary, Francesco, the Pope says homosexual people have a right to be in a family. They are children of God and have a right to a family. It's a major departure from the position of the Vatican's own doctrinal office. The Pope adding, what we have to create is a civil union law. That way they are legally covered. I stood up for that. The Pontiff has called for civil unions in the past, but before he became Pope,